Be interesting to see. If the thing is with Freya has to run in to start doing damage, and all Neith has to do is use that 3 and backflip and get out of there, and has that 1 to combo in as well from a range. So if I'm going for pure character based, who's going to be going off at first, I think Neith might have a slight advantage when it comes to the moveset.
All right, we are going to see. We are entering into the match now. And syncing up. And here we go. Both of them have loaded up into the match. No purchases have been made quite yet, but we are seeing Dabeer start off with that mace. Likely maybe going into a Jotun's Wrath with that to try to get the cooldown reduction, and picking up meditation to help with that sustain as John goes into tier 2 of the magic shoes, and probably going to rush those boots of focus, and then most likely, considering it's John, right to hasten fatalis after that.
Most likely. Normally, when he's been playing Freya this tournament, he's been going straight for Hastened Fatalis immediately. So maybe he's rethought that plan, or maybe he takes Dabeer a little bit more serious. Who knows?
Yeah, let's see. He might honestly just think that he needs those cooldown reductions. As you said, Neith's ability to get out of a fight means that he may want to have his abilities up as often as possible, just in case she escapes from one. He can still activate and have it in case a fight breaks out.
That's very, very true. D1 jumping around like an asshole. Well, that's John, so.
This is a very, very interesting strategy. He's trying to disorient Neith, I believe, by jumping so much that the game will pixelate around him and thus destroy the field of view for Neith, and then Neith will be unable to attack. I believe it's called the missing no effect.
Oh, is it?
Or just being a retard. I could be one or the other.
We'll go with both.
Alright, now that John's Irradiate is down, he has no real way to kind of clear against these minions other than to get right up close to Dabeer. Now it is active again, but he doesn't have meditation, he has no potions right now. He's actually in a very difficult sort of sustained moment at this point.
D1 was looking like he was going for that levitate, but it didn't seem to pay off. Didn't really go for it.
Wasn't able to get it though. He's doing decently fine right now. He hasn't taken a whole lot of damage. His mana pool still got enough that he can probably keep up, but he's not gaining as much gold from the fact that these towers are getting the kills instead of him. So he's going to be a little bit behind in that regard, but that's somewhat expected based on the fact that Freya's rather almost like a magical hunter. She has terrible early game, and it takes a while for her to really get going.
But once she gets going, oh my goodness.
Yeah, her late game, she's fucking an absolute monster. So that's where I think D's trying to head for right now. He has picked up those Shoes of Focus, and nothing else other than that. Nothing for an active or anything like that. So I guess he's just saving up right now to get himself going towards that Hasten Fatalis.
Yep, Dabeer with the heavy mace, which only goes into Jotun's Wrath. So that's what he will be going for, and with the Boots of Focus, it'll be interesting to see if he goes for maybe a Breastplate of Valor to give a little bit extra defense, as well as that last of max out his cooldown.
It's a very big likelihood, considering he's such a big fan, and it has all the stats he'd need at this point right now. They're getting into a little bit of an extended encounter. Neith goes for that damage, or rather gets banished. Lays the broken weave down, goes for the ult. D1 is low, trying to back away, and Dabeer is going in for the kill. Oh, just misses the skill shot on that, and John is going to get away.
Yep, going back. A nice escape. While Dabeer does the same, likely to finish up that Jotun's Wrath.
And there it is. There's Jotun's Wrath. And just as you said, Chaos is actually going to be going with what looks like going to be the Breastplate of Valor as a second item. So foregoing that Hasten Fatalis. Looks like he's trying to do a little bit of a counter build right off the bat, which is a very smart move.
Yep, which means almost certainly his next item will either be some sort of attack speed or maybe even a Polynomicon just to give him a little bit more health.
Yeah, as it is right now, he is in a little bit of a tough situation in that it's still hard to push. He's got the Banish on, now going for the kill. Neith rather is going to back away, lands the snare, and now it's an all-out fight. John has minion aggro on him right now, going for the kill, uses the ult, following after, and Neith is going to shy away under tower. Oh, Neith is actually going right back into it, uses the back to get in there, hits her her life tap or whatever that move is, and picks up a little health there. And is now pushing back in on the lane, and they're about even now.
Yep, about even on health. D1 maybe a little higher in health. Probably even now due to that little bit of creep damage. Ooh, this could be good.
Oh, another banish. John is very good about laying down those banishes, though he gets hit with a snare from Broken Weave, and that'll force him to back off just a little bit there.
Now he's got enough mana for probably one more Radiate after this.
And he goes in for that. It's going to activate his empowered shots. Gets caught with a Broken Weave, and it looks like Dabeer might go in. No, not going to go with the kill for this. Guess he realizes he doesn't have enough damage to do that. So John is going to back away, and he should have enough to finish off that Breastplate of Valor. Yep, there it is.
Dabeer looking to go back as well, probably to start that second item.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Ooh. Going with the Fatalis, probably going into Hasten Fatalis. Are we going to see a John build versus John build?
What's notable here is that Dabeer is building just pure damage at this point. He's got the Jotun's Wrath for that cooldown reduction, has a little extra penetration to mana, and then going into the Fatalis, whereas John has been going a bit more support, a bit more utility with that, and defense purely, basically, with that that Breastplate of Valor. Going in for the ult, and as you can see, the damage just isn't particularly there at this point. He's going in for the damage, and he's going to backflip away, but hits a wall!
Oh, that escape!
Just gets away.
Dabeer running away, probably not expecting D1 to be doing that much damage.
That was very nice. Freya does have a deceptively strong damage, even without any items right there. A prolonged fight with her does get very dangerous. Going in for that ult, unfortunately it's not going to do a whole lot. Going to delay him a little bit under tower, but there are minions there to pick up the aggro, so John's just going to farm a little bit and then escape none the wiser. And you were right, it is going to be a Hastened Fatalis out of Dabeer, so we are going to see a very attack speed heavy encounter between the two of these gods.
It'll be interesting to see if the extra attack speed can kind of offset the damage reduction from that Breastplate of Valor. D1 going for that, what is it, the sash that he normally goes for?
Yeah, I believe he's going into a Warlock sash here. So again, he's not going with that Fatalis off the bat. He is trying to get himself built up with some magic power at this point. So it's a bit of a different build we've seen from John. He always talks about how Hasten Fatalis is his #1 go-to item, but this time it's not even third on his list.
Likely prioritizing the heavy damage that Neith can do.
Oh, with a couple of irradiates, manages to chunk down Dabeer, uses his ult to scare her away, and now he's retreating back to tower. I guess, I don't know if he was maybe considering going for blue buff, but he is just going to recall under tower and I guess finish off that Warlock sash.
And the game has paused?
Start building the stats. Oh yeah, we are seeing a pause here from Dabeer. Perhaps someone needed something to get done, so maybe they just paused the game for a quick moment.
Hey, you know, so when you gotta go.
Yeah, when nature calls, I mean, what else is there to do, you know?
I mean, true gamers, you know, they just crap themselves and keep going, but, you know, some people just aren't that dedicated.
I was gonna say piss in the bottle, but yeah, I suppose they could shit themselves too. Oh, game is back. And John actually didn't pick up that level of Warlock Sash. Don't think he had the money for it right away, so he's actually just going to be running back in the lane. Not sure why he recalled. Maybe he just wanted to get full back up on mana, so understandable. And we are seeing Dabeer is picking up that Spike Gauntlet, probably going into the Blood Forge he has before, which is going to be a very crucial item. That enables him to have a prolonged encounter with John. The danger, though, is that, of course, Freya could easily take to the air, and that's a point where you really can't heal off that damage. But it's been interesting. And John's actually going to be going for Dabeer's mana camp, and Dabeer is going right into lane. He's completely unaware of this. He actually is going over to his red buff. We might be seeing something happen here if Dabeer gets a little wise.
Dabeer is unwise to it as Freya backs, leaving Dabeer in lane with his speed buff, just farming minions.
Oh, that's a dangerous situation right there. Dabeer has the speed buff right now, has some minions. Fortunately, a minion wave is coming, so he won't be able to lay any damage in that tower. But Neath with a speed buff can be a very dangerous opponent to be leaving with your tower. Once again, John still doesn't have that fully completed Warlock Sash quite yet. I think at this point, he really needs to make sure he's farming enough minions to make sure that the next time he goes back, he has the money for that.
Bit of a standoff right now. That backflip just keeping the distance between them.
Very good. And Dabeer still has meditation up, still has a mana pot, so he's got the sustain to keep up in that lane. John's just going to be using his Radiate to knock down the minion waves as quickly as he can. You can see what that full cooldown reduction build is basically doing. From the moment Irradiate ends, he has another one ready to go.
Yeah, I think there's like a once Radiate stops, you have 1 second at full cooldown before it's ready again. So it's really going to play to his advantage to be able to use that projectile against Neath.
John going in for that banish, doesn't hit it, takes to the skies, dealing damage to Dabeer and sort of chasing Dabeer away. Going to land a couple of Radiates, gets a couple in on Dabeer, not enough to take him down, but he's a little below half health at this point. Somewhat of an area to be in. Pop his meditation to stay up, and then try to sustain off the little bit of lifesteal that he's getting from that Spike Gauntlet.
Dabeer returning to base as is D1. D1 likely going to finish that sash. There it is.
Gets the sash and the second level of the Hasten Fatalis. So he's got that in the works. We're seeing the Blood Forge come in for Dabeer and a Light Blade. Likely building that into Quinn's Blade, so might be going with an Executioner as well. Or possibly, I forget the other item that's on that tree, but could likely be building into Quinn's Blades.
Isn't that the golden bow or whatever it is now?
I think that's in a different tree. I think that's the Executioner, the Quinn's Blade, and some other kind of attack speed. Aussie, I think that might be it.
Dabeer sneaking up from behind.
Misses the snare, though. Backflips over. John's laying a couple of Radiates on him. Manages to only get 3, taken to the skies, looking to pick up first blood here. Dabeer is very low. There goes the pulses! There goes the first kill from D1! Good lord!
That was a greedy push, but it paid off with very little damage to him.
He just went in full force, landed a couple Radiates, chunked him down, hit it to the skies, flew right over the tower, and because of that cooldown, had Radiate back up almost immediately and just managed to land those 2 very crucial skill shots and managed to get those in there for the first kill of the game. He's gone back, he's picked up Hasten Fatalis all the way, and now looks like he's going to be building, I imagine, Might be Gem of Isolation, and we are seeing Dabeer has picked up that Balance Blade, so I likely going into Quinn's Blade as well.
D1's radiate so fast now that he has his attack speed buffs.
Your middle tower is under attack.
And John's now going right onto the tower.
That uncommon sash, doesn't that that builds into Gem of Isolation, but
yeah. I mean, he might be going a different way with that. That's the way I'd expect him to be going, because of that combination of his moves. Oh, going to the skies again, trying to get Dabeer. Unfortunately, seemed to be in a bad situation to land it. Hits his one, goes for the two, gets a couple skill shots, and manages to just hop away before Dabeer can take him down.
excellent, excellent play by D1, just barely getting away with his life. Backing to recover, likely build the second tier, as seen there.
Yeah, and looks like any build changes going for Dabeer. Doesn't look like he has the money right now to finish off that Quinn size yet, so he's going to be staying right there. He might actually be, where is he right now? Oh, he's actually dead, so that's why I couldn't see him on the map. I forgot the cooldown counters had gotten that long.
Freya going for the attack buff, and you know, as much as we shit on John, as much as he thinks he's not that great a player, this tournament has shown that he is actually very, very good, especially with Freya.
I will say, John, sometimes in Assault he gets a god he just doesn't like and he doesn't play great, but the dude knows how to Freya. He is absolutely astonishing with his ability to stick with Freya so much that once that late game comes up, she's unstoppable. Takes down the tower, hits the banish, now is going for that too. Manages to land a couple shots, chunks Dabeer down to the skies, going for a kill. Aegis pops up, going to keep him from getting the kill as John hops away back out of the Phoenix damage area.
Neith with the fuck you ult.
That seems to be how her ult has been used thus far in this match. It hasn't been really anything strategic, it's just been fuck you, John.
Just as a courtesy after the fact of being almost killed. Kind of a way to get back.
And we are now in a spot where Dabeer is kind of pushed up against his Phoenix. Now, the advantage it gives him is that if he's able to survive an encounter, he's going to be able to get back and heal very quickly. But with the rate that ChaosD1 is able to deal damage, that may not be enough. He could very easily catch another banish, just like the one he almost landed right there. And then all he needs to do is just get a couple of radiate pulses on him, take to the skies, and it's done. Take to the skies is already back up. That Aegis is not going to be back up yet.
Just as you said. But the creeps were there to soak up the radiate damage instead.
Yeah, John's going to keep pushing in here, going to get closer, tries to land another radiate, or banish rather, doesn't get it, but he is making his presence felt. He is pushing very hard into this right now. He's going to land some little damage on the Phoenix. And it looks like he might be retreating to head back and pick up that Gem of Isolation, finish that off, as Dabeer heads back, probably going to pick up that Quinn size.
D1 staying in lane to farm those creeps, probably going to back afterwards.
Yeah, there we go with the Quinn size, as D1 is actually heading, looks like he's going to refresh that damage buff, go pick that one up and take that away from Neith possibly picking it up. And did we get, no, just a little bit of a lag there on my end.
Oh, Dabeer. Dabeer is... Oh. Oh, they're so close and they have no idea.
It's like two star-crossed lovers who want to kill each other.
Dabeer getting that speed buff and returning to lane, while D1 had gone back after getting the attack buff from that side. Built Gem of Isolation. Looks like might even be going into Rod of Tahuti next.
Oh, I'm getting some kind of error that says stasis mode.
Yep, everyone is frozen for me.
Huh, okay, guess we're getting some kind of connection issue here. As we wait, I believe that, yeah, as you said, going into that Rod of Tahuti, that's going to be the final item for John's build to get that ridiculous boost to his magic damage. At that point, he's going to be very difficult to beat. This match honestly might be a little bit out of Dabeer's capability to take at this point, just because Freya is going to deal so much damage. And unless Dabeer can out-heal or juke those basic attacks and keep himself from getting hurt, it's going to be very difficult to kill Freya at this point, especially when John's always on the attack. Dabeer never seems to be able to catch him on a defensive at this point.
I'm curious if something has gone on with the servers. I know they've been kind of squirrely since the last update.
They have been. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's up with this. This is a bit of a different sort of situation here.
Like, stasis mode is definitely a connection issue. When my modem last week went out, I got stasis mode when my connection dropped. So it's definitely an issue of some sort. Don't know what it is. Nothing's moving.
Hope this isn't a disconnect from one of them accidentally.
It's so quiet.
It is. It's almost like, like these guys aren't aware that there's like a vicious battle going on right now. I feel bad for the Joust guys, the minions, because they're just running in place, and they look like they're trying so hard. Like, every so often, they speed up really fast. Like, I want to get somewhere, but we're stuck. Such is our lot in life.
Fatal Ghost. D1 is not the one that's streaming right now. He's in a match. And it's not 1v1 him. It's just a tourney of 1v1 stuff that he happens to be in.
Yeah, we are still stuck in a stasis mode here at the moment. I do not know if we're going to be able to bounce back from this one or not. I don't know if there's something that just reconnects in, if we'll just pop right back into it. I'll be curious to see if John actually has anything to say.
Maybe the spectate itself screwed up, if that's even possible, because I get the feeling if something radically screwed up, D1 would have come in here just screaming.
He probably would have, but that's requiring John to sort of be on his game about things, which usually isn't his MO.
That's true. Gonna alt-tab out of the game here and take a look at the raid call, see what happened.
All right, then. I will stay in here, let you know if anything develops.
No, they're still in the 1v1. I'd hop down there, but I would have no way of getting back into this room.
Yeah, I don't know how to get into there otherwise.
I don't have the slightest clue.
Well, we are at such a point now where it's sort of... the match is not guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination. Things can definitely come back. They definitely seem to be swinging one side. But I don't know how John plans to handle anything that's a disconnect on the server side. I imagine Smite in general would be having problems, not just this one particular match, if it wasn't someone's individual internet going down.
People in the chat, is there anyone else logged into Smite right now that's having problems?
They already finished their match, you guys. It just farted, essentially.
What's up?
So the spectate just borked, essentially.
The spectate
failed.
borked?
That's
Yep.
lame. Alright, well, who won?
Chaos won, apparently.
Congratulations, Chaos! We always knew you could do it.